Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on my channel. In today's video we are going over all the books that I read in the month of May. However, I didn't read that many. I was very busy. Reading was just not really a top priority for me, and I hate to say this is going to be a very short video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. I guess the first thing that we should do is probably go over the books that were on my TBR for the month of May, which books I did read, which books I didn't tackle, maybe soft DNF'd. First we have The Giver. Actually, this is not necessarily The Giver, but more so Messenger. I did get to this book in the month of May. Next, I also have The Young Elites. This was on my May TBR, however, I did not finish it till June, so we are not talking about it in this monthly wrap-up. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I did start this. I don't know how far I got into it, maybe 30 to 50 pages. I had an audiobook to try and help me get into it because when I first started it, I tried reading it and I just felt like I just couldn't get into it. So one of the things I thought about was soft DNFing it just for now. Potentially, I might get rid of this whole series. We'll see. I might try and pick it up and restart it. If I cannot get past the first couple chapters, I'm just gonna give this whole series away. Either donate it or try and get rid of it or sell it to half price books and then maybe make a profit on it, because I've had the series for so long and me not being able to get into the first book is going to be one of the things that makes me get rid of this entire series. So I didn't read this, I hate to say that, but I did at least try to read it, like actually try, put an effort into it. Then we have The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. I didn't have time for this. Like I said, I was just too busy. And that excuse also goes over to Catching Fire. I just didn't have enough time to pick this book up either. Even though I only tackled one book technically in the month of May, and potentially you could say maybe three, at least two of them I did finish off of my TBR, I did actually get to read two books in the month of May, or finish two books in the month of May. The first book that I finished in the month of May was actually The Hunger Games. I started this the 27th of April and didn't finish it till the 5th of May, but I have to say I absolutely enjoyed this book so much. I remembered a lot about the first movie. I felt like the book and the movie were very close. There were some differences, but for the most part, they were very close as far as you can get for books and movies. And I definitely see why this series, even as an adult, is so good to read. It's more of nostalgia, like going back into it if you've already read it. I don't think I truly read it. I know I watched The Hunger Games, all of them technically, but I mainly only remember the first one, maybe a little bit of the second one. And I do think I tried reading the paperbacks, and like I said, I just loved it. I love the world. I mean, it's not necessarily something that you want to be in, but it's one of those that it was so creative, especially for the time when she created this. It was so creative and different, and also if you just look at how, especially with like the US government, how things kind of coincide with each other, it's very ironic. For me, not knowing if I've ever picked it up, but reading it as a young adult, or a younger adult, I guess I should say, I feel like this was such a great series. I'm so excited to get into Catching Fire. Of course, all the prequels. I'm so excited to read more about Haymitch. I already know a lot about Haymitch, I feel like, but to read his story eventually, I feel like that is going to be such a good book, and I rated this one actually 5 stars. And then I actually hopped into Messenger. I started this on the 5th and didn't finish it till the 10th. I did enjoy a lot. I feel like I forgot a lot about it, but it tied in so much of the first book and even so much of the second book. So many puzzle pieces started to click. I wish I could talk about them, but I feel like it would spoil a lot because at first I was so confused on why book 2 went the direction that it went, and now on book 3 we're kind of circling book 1 and book 2, and I feel like we're getting more questions, at least questions that I had answered, and I'm so excited for the last one. The last one also is a fairly chunky book. This was only 136 pages, the copy that I have at least. We go from like 480 pages all the way to 740 pages, so it's a lot chunkier than the other ones. All the other ones have been around 100 to maybe 200 pages, and I feel like this one being closer to 300 pages is going to be hopefully one of the best endings to a series that I've read, and I really am excited to finish this. I feel like it's one of those that if I don't push myself to read, I don't really want to finish. Now that we're getting farther along, I am getting a little bit more excited, but before I read this one, I was not positive if I wanted to read Messenger, to be honest, and I hate that I felt that way. I think I was just really in a slump in general, and then especially a book slump, so I felt like reading just was not a priority, and now I'm so much into reading, especially the book that I'm currently reading, that I'm enjoying. Like, I'm mood reading and I'm having a lot of fun. This book, however, because of the little questions that I had answered and also more of like the connecting the dots, fitting in the puzzle pieces, I rated this book 3.5 stars. And then sadly, because I didn't finish Young Elites in the month of May, these are the only 2 books that I read for the month of May. Like I said, we were doing good. I'm not gonna lie. I had a very, very, very busy week, and I just definitely did not prioritize reading, which honestly I'm not bad about. It's okay, because this month I feel like I'm doing a lot better, so I'm excited for June's wrap up and to see how much more I read. So let's go ahead and hop over into a little bit of statistics for the month. They're gonna be so terrible because, like I said, I only read 2 books. My favorite book of May, of course, because it was 5 stars, had to have been The Hunger Games. Like I said, I'm so excited to continue the series, and also watching this movie after finding it in a thrift store right after reading this was probably one of the best things. It really helped me revisualize everything that I was already imagining from this book and then putting it to the big screen for the most part, besides the little differences. But this was definitely my favorite book of the month. All right, on my physical TBR, because I bought a couple more books. I know I keep doing it every month and I say I don't need to. They were just 2 books from Walmart, but still 2 books add up. I went from 113 overall, that is, because I keep adding to the list, 113. We read 20 books at this time, finishing just these 2 books. So that puts me again at 93 books left on my physical TBR. I did not get to cross off any books off the list of the 25 books I want to read in 2025. I guess The Hunger Games was on my 24 list in 2024, which is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie, but at least I got to it now. For my 2025 reading bingo challenge, I crossed off 2 spaces, of course. One being a first book in a trilogy, which is The Hunger Games, and then the second one was a book rated 3 stars or lower on Goodreads. It's a 3rd book in a series. Also, it's not a very big book. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of issues with that book. Of course, that was Messenger. We did happen to get a bingo. It was a vertical one towards the end of the bingo chart. So in order, we have a female author, a 5-star read, a book with a map, a fantasy book, and then a first book in a trilogy. And then finally, like I said, we read 2 books in the month of May, which only equated to 510 pages. It was not a lot at all. And I did have 1 5-star read, which was honestly probably the best thing for the month. And that's everything I have for this month's wrap up. Like I said, I know it's very short. I'm so sorry about that. I'm hoping that June will be better already. It's 2 times better or about the same, and we're only a couple days into June. So I'm so excited to get to this month, finish out this month, see how much I have mood read, maybe tackled a few more things for my 25 list, and I just hope I'm getting out of my slump. That's my biggest thing. Not being so busy, picking up reading again, something that I love, and then of course, just enjoying what I've been reading. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope to see you on another video here on my channel, and as always, God bless.